Okay, we're live. Hey guys, afternoon. So I'm gonna do my clerical work once again. Okay. Sorry, my camera is a bit blurred. Adjustable kasi itong camera ko, guys. So, there we go. Hello! Vandana Sharma. Sorry yung pag-pronounce ng name mo. Sorry, but hi! Hello! All right.
The holidays are a festive time of year, a time for giving. But today in Jupiter, Florida, nothing will be given away. Victory will need to be earned at the Bolero Elite Series. Anchoring the broadcast are two Hall of Famers, football's Jerome Bettis and bowling's Norm Duke. We have returned to the spotlight for the first Bolero Elite Series champion, Louise Gonzalez, as he squares off against fellow amateur Garrett Chauvin, and a marquee matchup between Hall of Famer Tommy Jones and the best bowler in the world, Jason Belmonte. But only one man will win the $100,000 grand prize and capture this prestigious title. Oh my!
Yes.
Clutch!
Yes, he did.
Clutch Gonzalez. $270,000, Richard.
He's striking no matter what they got out
that's
there.
the kind of delivery that's going to knock over 20 pins.
Yeah, had it on lock tonight. Anthony Simonson gets it done. NBC Sports is proud to bring you coverage of the third and final Bolero Elite Series for 2019 as we welcome you to the Sunshine State. This is Bolero Jupiter. Hello, everyone, and happy holidays. Todd Harris with you alongside two Hall of Famers, of course, the PBA Hall of Famer Norm Duke and the NFL Hall of Famer, the bus, Jerome Bettis.
Sorry for taking too long. What's my name? Love. Love is my name. Nako, Vandana Sharma. Ako si Rav. Rav Lomboy. Hindi mo nabasa yung ano ko, yung sa channel ko. Yan na yung clue. Rav Lomboy vlog hashtag. Yung mga ibang tao, tinatawag nila akong Ding kasi, or Ading kasi yun ang nickname ko. Ay, sorry po. Where's my, ano, ito. Okay.
We welcome you to the Bolero Elite Series, and this is a great program. 8 pros, 8 amateurs. They work their way down to be the last one standing. If you win the tournament, you get $100,000. The runner-up takes $25,000. So a big payout either way for the pros and the amateurs. All right. We'll start off talking about the amateurs, guys. It'll be the second match of the day. We've got Louise Gonzalez taking on Garrett Chauvin. Bus in Chicago. We saw Louise Gonzalez. This guy can flat out play.
He can play, and if there was ever a thought that an amateur couldn't beat a pro, he tore that out the first series event. And he's a left-hander. He knows how to throw. He's been bowling since he was 3 years old, and he's going to be formidable as a great left-hander here.
And how about Shovan? What do you think?
Well, also a left-hander, and he bowled in college at Saginaw Valley State University near your hometown.
my hometown, yeah.
And more importantly, I was over here working out with him this morning.
Well, I'm
You
working.
seem to be the coolest of the 4 players. And in this event, you better
Working
be
at
cool
home.
when it comes down to the pressure-packed endings.
All right, we started off with 8 amateurs. We have made the field all the way down to 2. Let's find out how they got this far.
First round, ended up bowling Amy. I mean, I go into every match thinking it's another opponent, it's 10 frames, anything can happen in one game. Go out there, make the 10 best shots you can, and hopefully come away with the win. The key for me for that match was just to stay calm and slow down with my tempo. At the end of the day, you're in control of your shot. You got to do what you have to do to make that shot to the best of your ability. The second match was pretty intense. There was a time where I was down 12 or 13 pins, I believe. In the 8th and 9th frame, I knew if I was able to get a double in there, it would put a little bit more pressure on them, and I think that was the key to the match. It was a very intense match. It was a match that you would want to see at the tournament going down to the final ball.
This Cyber Week, get online with Hostinger. Premium hosting for 99 pesos a month and a free domain, free SSL, 24/7 support, unlimited FTP accounts, 100 websites, free email, and Google Ads credits. In other news, there is of course a 30-day money-back guarantee, which we know you won't use. Go to hostinger.ph and grab your once-a-year Cyber Monday offer. Hostinger, 3, 2,
Where am I
online.
from? Muntinlupa. Why? Why are you asking? Si ano po, si...
You see, we edit a lot of videos every day, so we don't get much time to answer emails or write long proposals for clients. Until we found Grammarly. With just one click, we can correct any embarrassing spelling mistakes. And if our emails look like long scripts, we turn on clarity suggestions to remove unnecessary words and to keep things short
Where
and
am I
simple.
from? Yes.
Like us, if you worry that all your emails sounds the same, simply go to vocab suggestions. It will replace repeated words with something far more effective. But wait till we show you how easy.
In round 1, I faced Mike Ewing. I could tell we were both a little bit nervous. Big, huge opportunity, stage we've never been on. We just kind of grinded those first 6 frames, really. And finally, I put a 4-bagger together, and that was really when I started to feel, okay, let's do this. I advanced and went on to bowl Dougie Heron, Dougie Vision, as he's known. He has a big personality, and he was trying to razz me a little bit, but I made sure to try and shut that out. I threw 2 really good shots on the 8th and 9th frame. That was what gave me the win.
All right, let's take a look at the brackets, and then there were 2, and it should be a great one. Garrett Chauvin taking on Louise Gonzalez. That will be coming up shortly as we turn our attention to our first match of the night, the pros, and that is Tommy Jones taking on Jason Belmonte. Now, these are both fantastic bowlers. Norm, you know them well. Who do you give the edge to in this one?
Yeah, two of the world's best. And, you know, you got to give the edge to the number one player in the world, Jason Belmonte, who's had the best year. I think that if Tommy Jones gets on a roll, he's got a chance. But if he doesn't, Belmonte.
You know, the beautiful thing about when these guys are pros, both of these guys are established veterans, right? So now it's just about who's the hotter guy going in, who finds his spot, who gets on a roll, and who finishes the other guy off.
And let's not forget, $100,000 is on the line. Right now, let's find out how Tommy Jones got this far.
The first round of bowled Shannon O'Keefe, she was a little rusty because she'd been on vacation for the last 10 days. Shannon made a pretty good shot in the 8th frame. She left the 10th pin, and then she missed it. An unfortunate mistake on her part. And when she did, then I pretty much just needed a couple marks to finish out the game and to advance to the next round. Bowled Marshall Kent in the semifinal of the pro side. He had a couple bad breaks. He 4-9'd early. Well, he's kind of transitioned a little differently than they did earlier in the first match. I don't know if it was a different pair or what. He changed balls. I moved around a lot more that match than I did the first match. It's kind of a game of chess. Fortunate enough to strike in the 9th and strike in the 10th, so then it was all said and done.
So Tommy Jones, the first semifinalist here in the pro division. For the official introductions, let's check in with Mark Fratto.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bolero here in Jupiter, Florida. It's now time to meet the pros. First up, an all-time top 50 PBA bowler and a recent electee into the PBA Hall of Fame from Simpsonville, South Carolina, Tommy.
Christmas shopping? Nasa Lazada yan.
Tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang kulitan with Generation Collect.
Jones!
Tommy Jones, extremely talented, especially tonight. He'll be looking for $100,000, but he will have his hands full with the number one bowler in the world. They call him Belmo, Jason Belmonte.
I don't like watching someone else determine my fate. In both of my matches, that's what happened. So in the first round, I played against Anthony Simonson and got off to a really good start. Anthony got off to a bit of a slow start with a split in the second frame. Even though he split early, I knew I was going to be pushed. He did strike all the way out until the 10th, and I knew that I don't want to give him an opportunity, so I was going to make two really good shots in the 10th frame. First one was great, and in the 11th frame, I left a split, which gave an opening to Anthony. And unfortunately for him, he got the first strike, couldn't get the second one, and I advanced through. In the second round, I played Carl Troop, and it was quite the opposite. I started a little slow, and Carl started really hot with 3 or 4, even 5 in a row, I think. And then it came down again to the 10th frame, where I knew if I get the first strike in the 10th, a spare would be all I would need in the 11th frame to win. I left a stubborn with the 7th pin, made it, and then the field shot was critical. If I strike here, I couldn't lose. I could only force a tie if Kyle was to get all 3 in the 10th. And then I think the 12th shot for him was similar to my shot against Anthony. And I could see, 3/4 of the way down that I wasn't going to pocket. Then I just had to hope that one pin stood, and it did, and then I went through.
So that's how Jason Belmonte made it to the semifinals. But what is he going to wear? Last time we saw him, he was on the broadcast with us, rocking a 3-piece and a tie. So what does Belmo have in store? Well, he tried on a jacket, didn't like it, handed it over to Kyle Troop. And we are waiting for the big reveal. We now check in again with Mark Fratto.
And now, a 4-time ESPY winner, 5-time PBA Player of the Year. He qualified for the semis with a 247 and a 1-pin victory. From Orange, Australia, Jason Belmonte.
There is the professional bracket. Jason Belmonte and Tommy Jones have worked their way down. One of them is moving on to the final and an opportunity for $100,000. So $100,000 goes to the winner, $25,000 goes to the runner-up. So not a bad payday if you make it into the final. A lot of pressure as the two pros step up, and we are ready to go. So Tommy Jones will be the first. We'll see what the two-time PBA major title winner can do
pag
here.
skinan mo nga pala yung QR code nito, napapa-call pala ito. Well, na-experience ko po. Kumunti ko na siya na-call. Tama. Ganun ba yun sa'yo?
Hindi ko pa na-try.
Try mo. Gamit lang yung cellphone mo.
And not a bad way to start out. So we've got contrasting styles here, Norm. We've got the single thrower and the two-handed thrower. So we're going to have your work cut out for you. We're going to break this down and pick out the flaws.
Right now, there's no flaws. It's 1 for 1.
No, these guys are ultimate pros, so you're not going to see many flaws at all.
And a nice start for the 5-time PBA Player of the Year, Jason Belmonte. Belmonte from New South Wales, a town called Orange. Talked to him just moments ago, and he's excited to get back home to see his family, his kids, Aria, Hugo, and Sylvie.
You might think that the first shot you throw on television is the hardest. It's always been the second shot for me. Just so you know, these are the 2 shots I'm most interested in.
John, we talk about the velocity he throws out. For a power bowler like you can appreciate what he's doing out there.
I can appreciate that. You know, the velocity he puts on that ball and that the revolutions, the rotation. Right. I mean, it's
ayos, Kuya Crispin Villanueva, nandyan ka na. So relieved.
That's the question mark. Will they see the difference in the 2 early?
Oh, they will see it, but they've already seen it and made their adjustments, and I think both of them are lined up. It's just about making shots right now, keeping yourself together.
Tommy Jones seems to be right in the same pocket, the 41-year-old from Simpsonville, South Carolina. Wow, that was a beautiful shot.
Yeah,
share yung what? Yung itong ano ko, live ko. Nandiyan na sa link ng ano
He knows, he knows it's right in the pocket. Right where
like a Steph Curry 3, doesn't wait for it to go through the basket.
Yeah, in his mind, he thinks he needs every one of them because he's bowling against.
I'll send the link. So, wait lang. So, yun na. Ito na yung link. Share mo na lang sa group if you really want
I'll tell you
it.
what, the boys, they are feeling it today. That's as good as it gets.
It's setting up for a very good event.
Still to come here in Jupiter, Florida, the Bolero Elite Series. We got the battle at the arcade with your guide, Kyle Troop. And then we'll answer the big question, where's the beef? Drome's got some experience with that burger. And the main course, it's the Duke taking on the Bus. Who will reign supreme in the Sunshine State? We'll have that when we return.
Shopee 1212 Big Christmas Sale. Get exciting deals as low as ₱1. Download Shopee now. Shopee!
Ay, wait. I think nagkamali yata ako
biggest
ng
moment in
link.
my career that I look
Wait lang,
towards
wait
is
lang.
when I broke the record with the 11th major, and that moment realizing I have accomplished one of the hardest things to do, which is win a major championship more than anyone else in the history of our game. And that really took me back, and it was a very emotional.
Getting inducted in the Hall of Fame is something you dream of.
Ito pala yung link. Sorry for the wrong link that I sent. So, ito na pala.
Really know, so it's kind of surreal at the moment.
Crispin
On the broadcast game, I enjoyed
Ito yung
calling
link
the action,
sa
but I tell you,
yung pangalawang
I
link.
never ever want to broadcast when I have an opportunity to bowl.
My body's healthy again. My goal is to get back to being one of the best bowlers in the world, and my goal has always been to get to at least 25 titles. So we got 19, so that's the goal. And now that we're back full time on tour, thanks to Bolero Corporation, it's an awesome feat, and looking forward to it.
You know, now that I'm here, I have an opportunity to bowl on the BES TV show. I'm going to make sure that I take every opportunity that comes my way. Otherwise, next time I'll be calling the action again and be miserable watching the guys bowl for $100,000.
The Bowler Elite Series provide a lot of money for us to bowl for. You know, 100,000 on top. Santa Claus come early with a big bag of cash. That'd be great, and I'd like to take that home and send a big Christmas card to the Bowler Elite Series.
What an amazing story and career for Tommy Jones. This is your last event before you get inducted into the Pro Bowling Hall of Fame. So it's been flawless so far. Is that the kind of game you need to have in order to take on Jason Belmonte?
Absolutely. Jason's been one of the best bowlers in the world, or the best bowler in the world for the last probably 5 to 7 years. So it's going to take a really good game, off to a good start. Going to have to keep it going for the last 7 frames.
Excellent. Good luck to you, Tommy. Todd?
And Tommy Jones, the 2001 PBA Rookie of the Year, off to a great start as Jason Belmonte now steps up. You know, it's amazing to me, Norm, as a pro bowler, you travel. This guy really travels. We're talking from Australia to come up to some of these events, and it never seemed to face him. The jet lag, it never seemed to be an issue for him.
No, it always bothered me, and I can't figure out how he can bowl so well on jet lag every single week. He just never seems to falter.
Man, how do you place it so well? I mean, Jerome, you've had a 300 before. How do you place it so well consecutively?
It's about consistency. You know, this sport is all about consistency. When you look at them, you know, game after game after game, they're not going to miss their spot many times. Most of the time, it's going to be a reaction to the pins that may, you know, give them a 9 or something like that. But for the most part, they're going to hit their spot every single time.
Yeah, their accuracy is much better than most bowlers, but their ability to hit it the same every time is the big thing. You don't want to grab too much or mishit it. That's what gets you in trouble. Oh! I had to speak about that.
I was going to say, the announcer jinx. So what happened here, Norm?
Yeah, he missed this at the bottom of the swing, and once it got wide, it just doesn't have enough to pull up to the pocket.
And it seems as though that left lane is a little bit different right down there in the pin area. It just doesn't snap as much.
Yeah, Jerome, when you and I were playing over there earlier, the left lane was a little more hooking, but because you were standing left, it seemed to wiggle down lane more often.
And Belmonte cleans it up. But you can tell he's not happy with the way that last frame played out. Again, you guys talked about the consistency.
This would be a great way to go into the Hall of Fame, beating the #1 player in the world right now. It makes you feel real good when you go and get inducted.
Remember, if he wins this, he will move on to the big final, face the top amateur, and that's where the payout of $100,000 will be on the line.
Got that one down early.
But when you're that good,
And there's another side of this that I don't think many people see is that Tommy Jones is going to take this if he does win this game. Whoever wins, they'll take that win on to the next time they see each other, and that's in the back of their head saying, "Hey, I know I can beat this guy."
There is no question about that. You know, you have to get a couple of medals on your chest before.
That's right.
Yeah, you got to rattle these people somehow.
That's the answer that you wanted to see.
Norm, how hard is it to let go of a bad shot? Just from his body language, it looks like Belmo's still thinking about that last frame.
The bottom of the snap is much.
He's got Monty clean last.
The hard go
move on to the fine.
Down early.
Oh, first he's going to take to the
there on your chest.
That's the answer that you wanted to see.
Norm, how hard is it to let go of a bad shot? Just from his body language, it looks like Belmo's still thinking about that last frame.
Yeah, you know, it's not that hard to let go of it as long as you're in the lead. It's real hard to let go of it if you're losing. And he knows who he's up against. Tommy Jones does not like to give it back.
Oh. Belmo leaves a single soldier standing.
Yeah, this is just protection from the last shot went wide, and he said, I have to get it. I have to catch the fingers. He caught the fingers so much that it overhooked to the right.
And again, it's that left lane that he's trying to figure out.
Dina. Parang kulang yata yung
Yeah, good shot. And Jerome
Belmo picks that up as Tommy Jones seems to be in control when we return to Jupiter, Florida, the Bolero Elite Series. Layla will be with Belmo. Has he dug himself a hole he can't get out of? We'll find out when we return.
To be successful in this sport, you need patience,
Driven and composed.
You have to be persistent and have a lot of support. You need to work hard and never give up.
You must make your spares. You have to have a great support system like my family does for me. You need to be confident,
Focus.
dedicated to the sport of bowling.
I got to this point by practicing and being in the gym every single day, working to be the best athlete that I could be.
To be successful in this sport, you need to be
Bold.
bold, bold, bold,
Bold.
bold,
Bold.
bold. You need to be bold.
This tournament is brought to you by your nearby Bolero, Bullmore, and AMF bowling centers, who remind you that any time is the perfect time to be bold. Bowling, arcade, outrageous eats, and unforgettable events. Go online now and reserve your lane. Back in Jupiter, Florida, we send it down to Layla.
Todd, thank you. Jason, a competitive match so far. You know what you're getting in Tommy Jones. What do you think of just what you've done?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to strike out, most likely. I mean, Tommy looks really, really good right now. You know, I didn't throw a great shot there on the left lane for the 8 count, but, you know, we're halfway through the game. There's plenty of frames left. I got to hope he gives me an opening, and if he does, I've got to try to take advantage of it.
We appreciate it. Thank you. Good luck. Todd?
So Belmo telling us exactly what he needs to do, guys. You agree? Obviously, it's not going to be easy.
No, it's not going to be easy. You know, you're staring down the barrel of a gunslinger, and so you've got to hope that he makes the mistake that you can take advantage of.
Yeah, you got to fire back. You got to shoot back at him.
Tommy Jones now up on the right lane, and this has been good to him, and he leaves one standing. So maybe the opening that Jason Balmonte needed.
Yeah, right out of the first commercial break. Seems the toughest thing to do for the pros on television is out of the commercial breaks. They have to manage themselves. And sometimes they come down. Sometimes, yeah. And you can see he's going to alter the fit of his thumb.
Make a adjustment.
Just that, 2-minute break there.
Yeah.
He's got to make an adjustment from something that has been absolutely perfect up until this point.
Exactly.
So this is the big shot, right, Norm? I mean, rattled there. You got to finish this thing. No problem.
No problem now.
All right.
But now the question mark is started to sink in, right? So now you're saying to yourself, okay, I've got to get back into it. I've got to find a way to get going. And what people don't understand is this game is so psychological at this point. Now, this is the challenge. Can he put it on the lanes and get it in the pocket?
Yeah, I think he's going to do fine here on the left lane. He'll probably get a strike. The big thing is when he gets back up on the right lane, can he double? One strike's one thing. Double is so huge.
It's such a competitive match. We are talking about one pin. He has missed one pin this whole match, and we're breaking it down, saying, "Oh man, he's in trouble." It's like it's one pin.
Yeah, that was his A shot there.
Ang daming new challenges ngayon, kaya you gotta stay healthy. You gotta stay boosted with NutriBoost. Sarap ng gatas na boosted with vitamins and minerals for your body. Gotta stay boosted every day. Drink NutriBoost.
Now remember, Belmonte had the same commercial break.
Yep.
Same amount of time.
Yep.
Difference is he doesn't have a thumb hole.
Okay.
Doesn't have to adjust that thumb hole. Inside information from Norm Duke, people.
Parang konti lang ito, ma'am. Yung mga payslip.
Oh, we absolutely love that one. Look at that. Oh, just came right across the front.
Yeah, and those are.
Pero kompleto pa rin in about 80. Ilan?
Exactly where you want to put it. And it didn't work out.
Hindi, madami kasi mga notebook na ito, ma'am.
Yeah, good shot. There you go.
You can see the frustration on his face. He had an opportunity.
And you saw that pin action, Jerome. I mean, it was like, Yeah, the max scores on both, it's 32 pins difference in the max scores, but it's only a 22-pin match now. Tommy Jones has a hammer, Jason Belmonte doesn't, but it's only 22 right now.
Ay.
Oh, bad one.
Oh. Norm, you saw that coming right out.
I've never seen a shot executed like that from Jason Belmonte in my life, by the way. It's normally hard to tell whether he throws a good one or a bad one, but this one I could tell immediately.
And you can see
he's not liking the left lane, is he?
Ay, kailangan ko pala yung scratch tape, ma'am.
Unable to figure out the left lane.
Yeah.
He's a little,
Well, if he's going to miss, that's the time to miss because he only lost one pin to his deficit. He's 23 back. This is where Tommy Jones can either seal the deal or let him right back in the match.
Exactly.
And as a bowler, it scares the heck out of him.
Yeah.
Nice way to give yourself a little breathing room, so to speak.
That's a sigh of relief, isn't
It
it?
was. He took care of business. He did what he had to do.
Yeah, that all but wraps it up, and you have to go open on a house shot. Not very likely.
Not likely, yes.
I'm not going to give him the victory just yet, but I can tell you this: Belmonte's not very comfortable sitting down right now.
And all Jason Belmonte could do is sit and watch.
Yeah, we knew at the beginning of this match that the first mistake was probably going to be the person that lost the match.
Well said.
That's what we said, and it turned out to be the case.
That did turn out to be the case.
Absolutely.
We didn't know that Jason was going to miss more than once, but he missed first.
Just such a costly miss, and that door was open. But give all credit to Tommy Jones because he stepped right up and took full advantage of it. Didn't give him an opportunity.
Yeah, but he gave it the who's got next at the end. Hey, look, I'm the Dallas Strikers manager, and that's where that came up. And I just love him when he gets fired up. Tommy Jones being my anchor man with the Dallas Strikers. Who's got next? That means have a safe travels back to Australia, my buddy.
And he hasn't changed an expression since he started. And again, the left lane comes back to bite Belmonte.
This was a problem all night. He wasn't able to figure out that left lane.
Norm, is it a case of once it gets in your head, it's hard to just shake it off?
You would think so, but I think what it is the bowling ball that he's selected. You know, he hasn't had, a full day even to decide what is best. I think maybe a different bowling ball will get in the pins a little better. Maybe he's trying to help it get into those pins, and as soon as you try to help it, Geronimo's going to hook early.
That's right.
Whatever it was, he did not put up the score he knew he needed on a house condition against Tommy Jones.
You created a business. Now, create videos for your business. Easily and instant with Vimeo Create.
Amazing video live.
Video to help you show off your products
Final Touch channel.
and bump up your sales.
Final Touch channel, thank you for describing the live.
With hundreds of pre-made templates designed to get your videos performing their best.
It's hard to put into words, though,
how good that man has been the last 10 years. I've watched it firsthand from the front row, and I've never seen anything like it. He's just amazing, and all of us know it. We want to do something about it so bad, I can't tell you, but...
So it'll be Tommy Jones moving on to the final and the opportunity to walk away from Jupiter, Florida with $100,000, guys. We said it before. We talked about the accolades of just how good Jason Belmonte is, but when he gave that opening, a lesser bowler
Hi,
taking advantage
Lisa
of it, but
Bazape.
Jason stuck out, and he did not.
And we just talked about Tommy Jones going into the Pro Bowling Hall of Fame. So this
Come on, good say, family.
lesser
Thank you for
exactly
coming.
what he's dealing with.
Thank you for coming my live.
Bowler, he's going to take advantage of the opportunity.
So, Jerome, what you're saying is,
And who's got next?
just like winning the Super Bowl before you
Just talked about Tommy Jones first.
So, Jerome, what you're saying is,
And who's got next?
just like winning the Super Bowl before you get inducted.
Absolutely, it is. It's certain bowlers that
This
you
action.
bowl against. It's certain, it's like in football. It's certain teams that you play against that you say, you know what, we want to beat them, right? And it doesn't matter. And this is one of those situations. You got Jason Belmonte, the best bowler on the planet right now. This is the opportunity he wanted.
Well, no question, and Tommy will give it to you. I mean, you said that. I don't pick my hair out with this one.
That's right.
Hey, look, he's talking to that front row right there. Because the average age of that front row is probably 21, 22. Yeah.
And like I said earlier, if
It's all about the next match, right? That's right. And letting those guys, putting those guys on notice.
On notice.
When you come see me, you better have your best.
As we take a look at the brackets on the pros side, it is now Tommy Jones who has punched his ticket into the final and the opportunity to win $100,000. He will face off against the winner of our next matchup. It'll either be Garrett Chauvin or Louise Gonzalez. Right now, Layla Rahimi is standing by with a very jubilant Tommy Jones.
Fresh off of that outstanding semifinal match, you told me you'd watched this on TV before. Now you're going up to face one of the big amateurs. Could be Garrett Chauvin, could be Louise Gonzalez. You know what's on the line. What do you think of the atmosphere and all this so far?
Hindi ako naglalaro. Magawa ko mga clericals ko. Ayun, no?
Blair's been great with all they've done. And, I look forward to bowling one of the amateurs for $100,000.
In your outstanding career, only one time have you
As
had
of now, hindi mo na ako naglalaro
$100,000
ng
check.
games.
What would that opportunity mean to you?
At isa pa kasi doon, busy
Here we're not
ako
bowling
sa
for prestige, we're bowling for the money. So there's
exam
no
ko.
secrets about it. So it's all about the money, and it'll make
Ang
Christmas
dami
a lot
kong
better.
iniisip
The
sa
show is
utak
great
ko.
too.
May
Good luck to you in the final.
declamation pa naman
Thank
ako,
you,
pinapractice ko pa.
Thank you, Layla. Congratulations to Tommy Jones once again. As he
Medyo
takes down Jason Belmonte.
minsan na muna yung game.
Moved
Pero
himself
madami pa
into
naman
the
ako
final, and he will face off
record na
against the number one
na hindi
amateur,
ko pa na
which is coming up next. Still to come, though, the big battle in the Sunshine State. We're not talking
Don't
about
worry.
the Miami Hurricanes. We're talking
Magpo-post
about
ako
the
ng
Bucks
mga
and the Duke
gaming
going
videos na
toe
mas
to
okay.
toe. But when we return,
Minsan
we
naman,
go inside the arcade.
Scary.
Oh, the
Scary.
two-handed, arcade action with Kyle Troop.
Ang narinig nyo, guys, is yung pinanood ko sa YouTube, which is bowling. Pro bowling, Bolero. Bolero
New Year's Day,
bowling.
the NHL heads outdoors for a Wild West showdown as the Nashville Predators head to Dallas to face off with the Stars from the Cotton Bowl. The 2020 NHL Bridgestone Winter Classic, New Year's Day, only on NBC. Beautiful day in the Sunshine State, but if you're going to be indoors, why
Hindi,
not go ahead and take
tinanong niya
all
kasi,
the arcade games that are possible.
si ano,
And who better to guide you through it than Kyle
Lisa
Troop.
Bazarte
So after you bowl, it's time to play
Akala
all the
niya
games
naglalaro
of
ako
Bowlero's Deluxe
sa,
Arcade.
sa,
You can discover the
sa
newest,
laptop.
coolest games, challenge your friends.
Kasi narinig niya yung ano ko eh, yung sa
Find
video.
the location near you and learn more at Bolero.com. Hair not included. All right, Tommy Jones is already into the final. Our next match, we'll find out who he'll be facing. These are the amateurs. We've got Louise Gonzalez taking on Garrett Chauvin. Let's first talk about Louise Gonzalez. He has been there before.
He has, and he won $270,000 earlier on in the year. And I'll tell you what, if that doesn't loosen that swing up, I'll put in with you. This has got to be the most confident player in the building, counting the pros.
And what do you tell Garrett Chauvin coming to this one?
You know what? He's a clear underdog. He has to know it. He knows that, Louise has been in this environment. He's won against the pros. So he's playing on house money, so to speak. So Garrett has to come out here, have some early success, put pressure back on Louise.
All right, let's take a moment and meet Garrett Chauvin.
My father and grandfather were both in the Air Force. My grandfather is the one who started all this for us. He got my dad into bowling when he was 3. Now my dad passing it down to me, it's been awesome. It's a family thing for sure. My proudest bowling moment was bowling 300 in front of my dad in high school league. Being able to do that for my dad was awesome. It's been just an amazing relationship for us to have that. We text all the time, all these little things. Whenever I found out about the Blair League series, I sent him all the stuff I could. He was ecstatic. If I were to win this event, it's gonna be a roller coaster of emotions for sure. We'll probably cry a little bit, but that's because of our love for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Bolero Elite Series League bowlers. Up first, a former collegiate standout from Saginaw Valley State. He owns a .228 scoring average. From Denver, Colorado, Garrett Chauvin.
Garrett Chauvin has made his way to the amateur semifinal, and he will face off against Louise Gonzalez, a man we know well in the Bolero Elite Series since he won the very first event.
The experience in that first event was It's surreal, like actually facing off against a pro. Like it's just something you kind of dream about. The other day, it's just you and the pins. Like you control how you feel.
Unbelievable.
The attention I received after winning the first event, it's overwhelming. A few people come up to me like, "Hey, like you're the guy that won the tournament, or you were on TV." And I'm like, "Yeah." We couldn't reveal any results until the show aired. When I did go back to work, walking in, like everybody's looking at me like, "So how did it go?" And I'm like, I can't really tell. But after everything was done, like it was just an awesome feeling, like just like doing it for them, just because they expected so much out of me. This time around, it was a little more just anxious to be able to come out here again and compete. Once the lights turned on, like it kind of hit me a little bit more, like okay, like opportunities here again, like make it worth it.
Up next, the pharmacy technician who took home the inaugural Bolero Elite Series championship in his hometown of Chicago. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Louise Gonzalez.
Coming up next, it'll be the amateur final. Louise Gonzalez and Garrett Chauvin for the right to face off against Tommy Jones and $100,000. Had a great week of competition here in Jupiter, Florida, and congratulations to all the amateurs that were here participating. Although we are down to the final two, 6 others were here, and I'll tell you what, they had an opportunity to take advantage of Bolero's 6-pound behemoth burger and the 2-foot mega dog. Jerome Bettis calls that an appetizer. Try them today with friends or order them for your next party. See the full menu at bolero.com. And the rest of the amateurs are sticking around to see how this whole plays out. Right now, we sit it down to Layla Rahimi.
And we are with the 2 amateurs who are left, and I'm going to start with the contender, Garrett Chauvin. You talked about balancing your nerves in the rounds before this. So what goes through your mind as you get ready to take on a guy who proved himself on the biggest stage Bolero had?
Yeah, he's undefeated through 2 events so far, so I'm gonna have to work for it, and basically can't be any nerves. I'm just got to do it.
Smile on your face. You've got the good approach so far. As for Louise Gonzalez, what a whirlwind it has been for you since you took this in Chicago. How do you defend your title knowing that you've got some of the best facing you?
Just keep to my plan, make good shots, and hopefully make 10 good ones, come out with the win.
He says you have ice in his veins, Garrett. We see it here right now, Todd.
Thank you, Layla. And remember, $100,000 to the winner, $25,000 to our runner-up. All right, so Norm Duke, Jerome Bettis, you guys have seen the pros, what they could do. Tommy Jones sits and wait. One thing you guys noticed, these guys were warming up for a long time. Norm, did they warm up too much?
Well, that's what Jerome was asking me. Is Norm, how much is too much? I said, that much? That's too much.
Absolutely.
I thought so.
But you know what? These guys have a lot of.
Yep.
Louis, come on, Louis!
Louis Gonzalez. Oh, man. Talk about picking up where he left off in Chicago.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what that does. You know, to his opponent now, who's already thinking, okay, I've got to do some damage. I've got to beat this guy. When you go out there and roll that initial strike now, it puts a lot of pressure on you to have to go out there and get it done.
So this is Garrett Chauvin from Denver, Colorado, former collegiate bowler at Saginaw Valley State. Split his time growing up between Dallas and Omaha, Nebraska. And a big opportunity for him right here. And Norm, it's awfully cliche to take it one frame at a time, but really you have to just think about the 10 in front of you and nothing else.
It's so cliche to say it, but that's exactly what we do. And, you know, for Garrett right now, the best thing that he could do is take a lead right after watching a guy that's seemingly unbeatable throw a perfect shot at you. If you can have a lead after 2 frames, maybe even.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Like you said,
Got to start early.
Got to start early.
fast and put pressure back on Louise Gonzalez.
Push. Oh, he got some good pin action there to help him out.
He did.
Talk that one through.
He came in there a little tight there, and he still got the action that he wanted.
He did, and you know what? I think he got away with both shots. The first one, he was a little light, didn't look like he caught it all, but he recovered late. That one, he said, push means hold. Don't go through the nose. It did.
Garrett did exactly what he had to do, was put the pressure back on Louise Gonzalez, and Louise answers right away. His wife Elisa has made the trip down to Jupiter, and why not? Get out of Chicago during the winter and come to Florida.
And Logan, the son who's peeking out of those shoulders.
And I understand he's a bowler as well.
Come on, Louis. Get it out there, baby.
That's why.
I'll tell you what. He looks like he's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah,
This reaction. She knew it.
Yeah.
yeah.
This reaction. She knew it.
Yeah. It's a confident bunch, I tell you that. They are. And they ought to be confident.
So now the pressure goes back to Garrett Chauvin. Norm, he may not be hitting the pocket exactly every time, but somehow he's getting the pin action. It's cleaning up.
Yeah, that was his best shot of the three.
Yes, it was. Absolutely.
And, I think what Jerome said about our pros match is right now it might be the first one who misses.
Could be out of it. But Garrett is doing exactly what he has to do. Put pressure on early. Keep it up.
Yeah, he's breathing.
And it seems as though those first two strikes were a little bit out of the pocket. And I think he's fouled his throw. The last two shots have been in the pocket. Really nice throw.
Yeah, he got away with the first two, so we kind of calmed him down. And now he can say, all right, now make your shot.
So, guys, we talked about that left lane being an issue when we watched the pros go, Tommy Jones versus Jason Belmonte. Are you seeing any issues for the left lane so far for the amateurs?
None. They're both left-handed, and both of the other players were right-handed, so it has no bearing.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, we can see it here.
Very much.
Two 300s. It's only the fourth frame, but I'll tell you what, they both are lined up. They both throw it really good.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'll tell you what, Hyther looks route.
And it's really impressive. Luis he's been, I mean, maybe a board or so off, maybe, but his pin action is so much that he's clearing it out.
Louise Gonzalez has been bowling since the age of 3. He honors his father, who passed away, by continuing that now, as you pointed out, his son Logan, the 4-year-old, the third-generation bowler. That's so awesome. If you're going to win the kind of money Daddy's winning, you might as well.
That's right.
It's the greatest thing about bowling is it doesn't matter how old you are, or your gender.
It doesn't.
Let's go bowl.
That did not. As soon as he let go, but he said it's got to push.
Yeah, you can even hear the ball hit the lane. It was a lot louder when it impacted the lane that time, which means he just got it into a little too steep into the floor.
Yeah.
When you do that, it tends to hook early. If there is hook early, he'll forgive himself. He'll make the spare and move on.
And here's the thing. If he loses to Louise Gonzalez and Gonzalez throws a 300, what are you going to do? It's kind of like
you've got to tip your hat.
Yeah, exactly.
And just tell him, hey, great great game. That's all you can do.
Hindi na ano kasi.
You got to kind of regain yourself in this time.
Yeah, I can hear his heartbeat right now. He's trying
calm
to
himself down, calm himself back down.
He's trying to gather himself exactly. With each strike, you tend to just amp up the level of tension. Yes. And again, makes the same comment and leaves one standing.
Yeah, and it just seems as though he can't find his stroke. Earlier he threw a couple that was off. He found it a little bit, but now he's kind of searching right now, and this is the wrong person to be searching against. Louise Gonzalez looks like
Luis,
season.
He hasn't missed since July, so.
And he cleans it up. So there you see the max scores right now. Gonzalez still on track for a 300, 268 for Garrett Chauvin. When we return, Louise Gonzalez back up and bowling when we return to Jupiter, Florida. This is the Bolero Elite Series.
So if I'm able to win the Bolero Elite Series, it would mean the world to me. It's an amazing opportunity for us league bowlers, guys that are watching the pros on TV. It's amazing.
My main goal for this event is to still honor my dad. I know he's watching down on me. I'm still trying to make him proud. But also for my son, just make sure I keep it, try to make everybody proud and do what I can.
If I'm able to win $100,000, I mean, that is it's life-changing amount of money for sure. So yeah, I can do some things that I wanted to do that I couldn't, like trying out the tour and bowling some bigger events, and seeing, my ability out against the best in the world.
As far as money-wise, I don't really look at that too much. It's more of just prove it to myself that I can be out here competing against the best amateurs and the best pros.
We had 8 great amateur bowlers that made their way to Jupiter, Florida, but one of them really stood out to us, and that's Mike Ewing. And he has a tremendous story about being the best he can be as a father.
I have a beautiful 9-year-old daughter. She is blind and autistic, so being a single dad of a special needs little one is always having to overcome something every day. There's a lot of things that we went through with Kylie as far as different sports. Gymnastics was one of them, taekwondo. Everything motor function-wise, there was so much going on that she couldn't really focus. This past summer, actually, is when I got back into bowling, and she was right there with me side by side. She just loves to throw things in general. So the fact that I could put an 8-pound ball in her hand and just put up the bumpers and say, "Hey, rip it up, kiddo." She bowled 2 strikes in a row last week, so I was over the moon about that. Now her motor functions are unbelievably great. Core strength has gotten better. It's pretty cool to see her progression and really focus, both physically and mentally on it. Seeing the achievements that she did pushes me to do everything that I possibly can that much better. My message to parents with children with disabilities is to keep pushing them as much as possible. Don't give up on them. Don't put the disability out there as far as taking it for what it is. Constantly push them, because they will surprise you every day, and those achievements are going to be so awesome.
And there is Mike Ewing here in attendance for the Bolero Elite Series, watching his fellow amateurs go head-to-head in this one. Luis Gonzalez taking on Garrett Chauvin for an opportunity to face off with Tommy Jones in the final and that $100,000 payout. So there's a situation right now. Luis Gonzalez in control of this one. And Norm Duke, this is a great opportunity for him to really apply the pressure to Chauvin.
No doubt, but fresh off a commercial.
Get it out, baby!
Oh!
All right, come on. Hey.
That's the 3rd time I've done that today, Jerome.
Absolutely. And it's something about coming out of a commercial break. Wow. That,
folks ask me all the time, well, what is it? What is it about that? Well, we don't know.
Well, it takes you out of your rhythm.
Exactly.
You know, you're not in that rhythm. Wow.
Absolutely.
All right, come on.
Get up, baby.
All right, come on. Hey.
That's the third time I've done that today, Jerome.
Absolutely. And it's something about coming out of the commercial break. Wow. That,
You know, folks ask me all the time, well, what is it? What is it about that? Well, we don't know.
well, it takes you out of your rhythm.
Exactly.
You know, you're not in that rhythm. You're thinking of other things. And you kind of lose that focus. And as you know, in this sport, if you lose focus for just that little bit, it's going to produce a bad roll.
Right, you can come back to it mentally, but can you remember all the things that you were doing to create the reaction you need?
Absolutely.
And it's a hard shot to throw. He didn't get a good break there either with the 7-10. I mean, that could have struck easily.
Right, Louis, come on. Come on, Louis.
Hit it.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Louis, come on. Come on, Louis.
Hit it.
Oh, wow.
All right, come on, Lou.
Louise Gonzalez, Lewis's wife. And there was the opportunity he had, Norm and Jerome, and unable to capitalize on it. So still life for Garrett Chauvin. He's got to feel pretty good about the way things have played out here in the last 5 minutes for his opportunity.
You know, this was the opportunity that he was looking for. He needed Louise Gonzalez to
open frame or
give him
spare,
that
yeah.
opportunity. Now it's up to him to take advantage of it.
Yeah, he took the lead on the bench.
Oh.
All right, Lou, come on. Hey, Lou, come on. Hey, Lou.
The first chink in the armor that I've seen out of Louise Gonzalez. He had a masterful performance his last time on the series, and to see this happening, quite shocking.
Calmly steps up and hits. That's impressive.
That was impressive. That's how you turn the match around.
Create videos for your business with hundreds of templates designed to get them performing their best with Video Create.
Giling. Oh, what is up, guys? My name is Ayana Perlas, and obviously I am not a chef.
Ay, nako.
Yeah, flippin'. I'm so nervous about this. I don't think this is cooked.
In this situation, I'm playing the role of the home cook. That's really bad math, everyone.
Yeah, he takes a 13-pin lead. With the strike here, it goes to 23. Wow. Like you said, 5 minutes ago, we were trying to figure out how he was going to stay in the match with Louise.
Get up. He is the pin whisperer here in Jupiter, Florida. He says it and it does it.
I need to talk to my ball more often if it gets to that deal.
That's right. That's the third time he said either get up or push, and they respond. All right, so Jerome Bettis, you're coaching up Louise Gonzalez right now. He's sitting there on the bench. What do you tell him when he comes back in?
Tell him you got to stay focused. There's an opportunity here, but you have to do your job.
Come on, Louis.
There it is. You got to do your job because you got to remember, Garrett Chauvin, he just had a strike, but it was not a solid throw. So you know that, hey, he's still trying to find himself. So you got to go out there and do your job, put pressure back.
Norm, you heard that, right? A Pittsburgh Steeler quoting Bill Belichick and the Patriots. Do your job.
You can steal some things every now and then. I'm not going to say they do.
Looking to get the mojo back in chest. Looking to get the mojo back and just leaves one.
If you ever needed one, she needed that one.
Yeah, that was a big shot. I thought he threw it pretty good.
Yeah,
Gave it some room. Look at the action. Right. Hey, make the spare. That's why you're in this trouble right now. Not only do you leave a 7-10, but you miss a single pin spare. Get it?
Can't afford that open frame.
Cannot afford that. And now you need help.
All right. Well, Garrett Chauvin, just step up and do what?
Do your job. Close it out. Close it out.
Sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, though, isn't it?
Well, look, if he gets 2 right now, it is over. It won't make it to the 10th frame. Anything less than that, we have some action. Right now, Garrett Chauvin on a 238 clip. Louise Gonzalez sitting at 225. 2 biggest shots of his career. Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So Louise Gonzalez is now breathing just a little bit better.
Just a little bit easier.
There's life.
Well, 225 is the most that Luis can get. A spare here and a mark in the 10th frame, and he's in the 230, so we're all right. He still has 2 pins count, so, a 9 this, we might have possibility of a tie.
Jerome said it. Do your job.
There you go.
Keep it simple, and Shovan does just that.
Like he puts himself in position to close it out.
Right. Big shot in his mind. He wants 9 or better. He cannot lose with 9 or better.
Go.
Wow. That's 3 9-pins in a row.
Unbelievable.
These boys like the drama, don't they?
Right.
I don't think either of those last 3 balls deserves
look
a
at
9.
that.
But there's a psychological game as well, because you got to remember, Garrett Chauvin, he's looking at the opportunity to play against Tommy Jones. And you want to send a message to your competitor,
Right?
This is what's coming. And so you don't do that. Now you leave that thought in your mind and says, okay, well, he's not going to be as tough as he could be.
Right. His armor isn't quite
Exactly. So every opportunity you get, you have to send a message to those competitors that are watching you play. Especially, this is not the finals, so he has another match. You want to send that message to your competitor. Hey, be ready for me.
And there's Tommy Jones down at the other end of the lanes, solitary.
That's right.
Throwing a few. There you go.
That's it.
Garrett Chauvin against Tommy Jones in the finale.
What do you think about that as we take a look at it one more time? Great action there as Shovan comes back. Guys, halfway through this match, we were talking about Louise Gonzalez maybe going to 300. And Shovan, hey, you did well. You made it this far. And look how he's turned the table. What a game.
I would classify it as an upset. I really would, because you go in there and Louise Gonzalez, the way he was playing, the form he had, it's definitely an upset.
Yeah.
Two 17s in a match. It's hard to win a one-game match with a 17 in it.
Right.
2 17s in it pretty much takes you out. If you miss a spare in there, you're gone.
You got no chance.
Yeah, but I tell you what, off his hand, he threw 11 really good shots.
He did.
He had a tickler 7-10, a pocket 7-10, a blower 7-pin, and a stone 9.
I'm about to end the live now. So thank you so much, guys, for watching my live. I hope you enjoy it. Well, a good moments as of now, guys. Thanks for coming. Kamagut sa channel. Family. So, as always, guys, I will see you in the next live, guys. Bye, guys, and have a great day.